mean, you can do this with golf clubs if you don't have alignment sticks. They're not really a reason you need these. So basically what you're going to do is you want to align, put the sticks in. It's usually easier if you put your putter down first, and then you want there to be a little bit of space in between because it doesn't get possible if you just align the sticks and touching it. But the goal of this drill is to just kind of eliminate any kind of movement you have that could cause you to push your putts or pull them. So basically what I do is I do my warm-ups, and then it kind of is helpful because it makes you, it's a good visual to see that you're staying down the line as you putt, as opposed to if you were over it and kind of you can see where your movement is. So I have a tendency to kind of pull it out like this, and this helps me because I can see myself crossing the blue line, and then you can use anything, like you guys were all saying, you can basically use anything from a pitching wedge to a hybrid. So what I have set up here is the first alignment stick is 20 yards away, and then each one is 10 more yards. And what I like to do is using different clubs. This is good to do if you have a day to spend on the putting green or in the short game area, just to kind of learn your distances, so when you're out on the course you can know what club to hit when. So I can demonstrate it, and what I do, I only have one club with me today, but you just kind of see. So if I was going to take, say, my club back about 7 o'clock, then that way when you're on the course you know your 7 o'clock will go 40 yards, will go 30 yards, and that's just a landing spot, and then you can kind of see how far it rolls out depending on what club you're on. So I'll go through this, and then we'll have each of you try. So I have my ball kind of center back right here. I'm going to stand a little bit closer, and it's just an easy putting stroke. You're not trying to fill the ball here. The club's going to do most of the work for you. See, this drill you need 2 alignment sticks. Only one is necessary. You could lay a club down at your feet. I just think that this is a little bit easier and not as bulky. So what we're going to do is we'll start with one, and I'll have Woody as an example. Okay, so when you're hitting a draw, you kind of want to start aiming a little bit right of your target, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so let's say, what do you want to use as your target?
Oh, let's use the green flag.
The green flag? Okay, so we'll turn this a little to where it's slightly right of the green flag, and then you'll take this one, and I'm not going to put it exactly 10 feet out, but this one right here will go you want it about 10 feet or so in front of you.
Okay.
I guess it needs to be more there. Okay, so the purpose of this drill, I'm going to have you, since you have a natural draw, I want you to come, so I want you to line your feet up with that.
Okay.
And then important things to remember when you're hitting a draw, you want the club face to stay slightly closed, and you are going to keep, like this alignment stick is lined up right of the target, because if you line up at the target, your ball is going to end up left of it. So I'll have him hit one, and then I'll explain the purpose of the when we get on a fairway bunker, especially one with a steep bank like this one. Something important to remember, so say this is pretty flat where we're standing right now, but say you hit your ball and it lands up here. So this just makes the shot a little bit harder. Some important things to remember is you want to always make sure that your shoulders match the slope. So if I go like this, I'm opposite the slope. So we want to make sure to have some lean, and I'm sure it'll feel a little goofy, but keep this right shoulder a little bit lower, left shoulder if you're left-handed. A couple other things to remember is we don't necessarily need to open our club face. You can slightly, but